What?
I forgot to hit the record, and then Angie puts me a big old banner that says record.
Oh.
So back to item number 4, discuss and approve the minutes of a special meeting to be held on September 21st, 2020. I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz, second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz?
Aye.
Commissioner Butler?
Aye.
Commissioner Santana?
Aye.
And Commissioner Barnes?
Aye.
Motion carries. Regular agenda, discuss report by Chief Esparza. Commissioners, I just put some little bullet points and I'm gonna go over them because I've been out with the COVID, so I'm gonna try to keep up with it and keep up with everything that I had going on while I was out. Item number 1, our FRO license has been renewed. We did receive it and it's in place for the next 2 years. Number 2, we have transferred most of our billing to the district office. I think everything's up to date already. Mariana has been working on that, so has all the rest of the staff, transferring everything from the volunteer departments to the district office. We had several, item number 3, we've had several volunteers and 2 employees already test positive for COVID-19. So far, most of us have made full recoveries. We are little by little getting hit here at the district level. So we're keeping an eye on all our volunteers, make sure they're doing okay, and that even their families are okay. All right, so I do call them up and make sure that they're doing okay. Item number 4, we have begun demolition of the Clint Station, and concrete at West Valley has been completed already. Item number 5, the Clint Tower that we paid for some accessories. Just for the record, Commissioner Avalos joined the meeting at 6:04. You there, Commissioner Avalos?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, there you are. Going back to item number 5, the Clint Tower is still on hold by the city of El Paso. I was told that it was completed, the installation. So now we're trying to figure out how to get it going. We are able to use the Clint Tower. However, at this point, it was not able to communicate with the rest of the towers as the city of El Paso is still holding that project up. I'll get more information. We're having a meeting tomorrow about that. So I'll give you more update at the next meeting. Item number 6, the Fire Marshal's Office is conducting operations with other law enforcement agencies to try and stop the spread of COVID via the gatherings. We've been out there on Friday, Saturday of last week. So we will continue to do that and enforce the judge's orders. Item number 7, we will be looking for a rapid testing machine that we can use to test our volunteers and our employees. Commissioners, as this progresses, I think it's in our best interest to look at something that we can test our staff a little bit quicker as we get infected and some of the employees are with other employees and we don't know if they're sick or not. We need to have a way to determine whether they should be working or be sent home. At this point, every time one of us is feeling the symptoms, we have to go get tested, go home and be out for 2 days to see if it's a negative or a positive. So I think it's in our best interest to look at a machine. They're out there, except get them is hard. So it's not that difficult, but we will be looking at one. And if we can find one and make the necessary adjustments. From what I'm hearing, these machines are not that expensive. And the kits, some of them are available through grants. So we will be looking at all that, but it just gives us a way to get a rapid response, whether or not they have it or not, so we can make a determination. Because as we all start getting sick, we don't want to lose a lot of our responders. So the best way is to test them rapidly. All right.
Chief, I have some thoughts on that and some questions. So, for testing for organizations or companies, I know that there are testing labs that are offering services to employers. Have you talked to any local labs that might be able to provide some rapid testing services to the ESD?
I talked to one and they wanted $900 per test.
Which one was that?
I talked to Sun City Urgent Care. I've tried to communicate with what's the name of that place where we got our lab work? Jesus, I forgot the name. Quest. Quest. So those are the ones that I've tried to call, but no answer. They're busy. And from what I'm being told, they're the ones that are doing all the testing for all the governmental entities. So that's why they're backed up and they really can't get us a quick answer.
Right. Well,
like,
I know of some private testing labs that are offering testing services to employers, because you could get a rapid test kit, but if you don't have somebody who's certified to do the tests, then it's really not valid, right? So we need to make sure that we're going through the proper channels to have testing done through the ESD, and that we have certified folks who are able to run the tests. But I can help with that, because through the MCA, that's kind of what we're in the middle of. So I could connect you to some resources and to some people who are doing.
We can have someone that can, and if the price is within reason, like I said, the machine itself, we've been already told that even through TDEMS that the machine itself is only $5,000, and every kit is $40. So I know that Life Ambulance has already purchased one, and I know that several agencies are already looking at one. It's a very simple, they'll train us to use it so we can be trained to be able to do these tests. But again, I'm always open to whatever is fastest to get some of these done. This is not something we ever do in a normal situation. But at this point, I think that if a lot of our volunteers are getting infected, it's in our best interest to look at something fast so that we don't lose that much staff and continue to run those.
Okay. Well, if you could just keep me looped in to those conversations so that we don't end up purchasing a $5,000 machine that we can't use because we don't have anybody certified to run those
definitely.
tests.
We're looking at everything. As a matter of fact, I got the information from TDEMS. I've been looking at the Abbott machine and now the VG machine. Also, they run about the same price. The kits I'm being told is about the same price, but it's the same machines that are being used in the schools right now. So definitely we are going to be looking into everything. And if we can find a reasonable place to do it where we can just say, go get tested right now and get us an answer, that'd be the easiest way for us to do it, especially if they have multiple locations, rather than to us getting into a situation where we're buying the machine and we have to travel to get these people tested, because there will only be one essentially. All right. But that's our main goal, just to not lose staff. But yes, we will be looking into one. And if you have the information on those labs, Commissioner Butler, if you can shoot me an email, and then I make contact with them, see what the prices are and what I need to do to set up an account, because I think that's very important for us to have.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the COVID protocols you have in place right now at the ESD? So
yes.
If somebody comes back positive, what are your restrictions there? And then if there's contact between somebody who's positive and somebody who's not, what are the protocols in place?
So right now with the protocols, if somebody comes in contact with a COVID patient, of course, we're all first responders, so we are going to come in contact. If there is no signs and symptoms of infection, then we will continue to roll. We had one instance with one of the employees called in on a day off that he had scheduled, that he was feeling body aches and headaches, and immediately we isolated the partner, send them to get tested. We send them home, we isolated, we disinfected the station, we disinfected the vehicle, so we made every effort to make sure that the rest of the staff was not going to get infected. That's what we're following right now. We're also following the CDC guidelines, which reviewed by legal, and this is what we have to follow so that we don't get sued, because we might be covered under Americans with Disabilities. And it's the same thing the city of El Paso is telling everybody. Right now, if an employee tests positive, which we had one test positive, and even myself, we are to isolate for 10 days. And on the 10th day, if we have no signs and symptoms of COVID, then we can return to work. Okay, that's if no fevers, no coughs, no anything, and we feel fine. After that, we can return. We get a letter also sometimes, and I'm gonna say sometimes because I've called to the health department. They're overwhelmed. They'll do a questionnaire and tell you may return to your normal duties. That's what we're following right now. We are continuing to separate here at the office, just like we're supposed to, and we are spraying every single location. We Today, as a matter of fact, I just bought 10 cases of Lysol so that we can spread them throughout the district to make sure that all our volunteers are being taken care of as well, so that we sanitize all our facilities. But that's the protocol. That's the same thing that we're having, and that protocol is going to be evolving because as the CDC continues to make changes, I will have to continue to make changes to make sure that we're meeting the same requirements.
Hey, Roger.
Yes, sir.
Is that from county that we're getting this protocol from, or is it something internal? And do we have it codified in a procedure guide or an SOP or something where it's standardized,
I'm sorry?
Okay, those procedures you just or the protocols you just discussed, did they come down from county, or is that something internal to the ESD?
It's the same thing that county that they have. It's the same thing that the city health department is giving, except I have to send it out to make sure that all our employees are feeling safe, that we're following something that is being throughout the United States. Also CDC, city, county health department is following the same thing. It was reviewed by HR also,
Okay.
just to make sure that we follow the right. And like I said, this is something that has to be a live document, because if the CDC changes something tomorrow, we will make a change to it.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions on that one item, Commissioner?
No, thank you.
Item number 8, COVID testing will continue at the district office until further notice. I'm creating the schedule right now. Some of the people are asking to see if we can have more COVID testing. As of right now, I create the schedule for all the county, all the ESD number 2 facilities, and send it out to the county person that's in charge of that. And then they schedule them based on what we're asking for, because that's what's best for us. They're asking for us to hold more testing, and I'm always open to allow more testing for the public. We're also about to begin, we will be having a walkthrough to see if our facilities are good enough to be doing community flu shots, which right now, I don't know that all of you, and Commissioner Butler, you joined in a little bit late, but we were talking about that we are giving the flu shot to all families and all staff. So if you have anybody else that wants to get it here, they want to drive to the district office, we'll be here tomorrow till 6 p.m. So we will be offering this to all the community as well.
Great. Those sites are really good. Me and my family actually got some at one of the city sites that was out here in Montana Vista a couple of weeks ago.
All right. So right now, all the volunteers and their families are welcome to come get it. I've offered it to Horizon Police and everybody else in this area. We have several, but we will also be doing a site for the public to come here in all our facilities to get vaccinated if they choose to.
Nice.
Any other questions on that?
Negative.
All right. Item number 6 was for informational purposes only. Item number 7, discuss communications report by Alva Ramos.
Hi,
Go ahead.
hello, good evening. I
Hello.
will be giving the report for September. Clint responded to a total of 55 calls, Fabens to a total of 119, Montana Vista to 102, San Elizario responded to a total of 134, Socorro 213, and West Valley 119. Fire marshal inspections, there were a total of 23. Permits paid for and issued, 18. The total for no response calls was 42, and the total for not available was 6. Are there any questions?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I have a
Report?
question.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Have we seen a change in the types of calls that we're getting since COVID hit? Are we getting more medical, for example, than usual?
Yes, we have been noticing that there's more PCP calls, possible coronavirus patients. And we do consider PCPs such as breathing problems, shortness of breath, fever, cough. Those are the red flags where we let first responders know that the patient might possibly be PCP. And we have seen an increase.
Where are those identified or flagged? is there any way to track that data? How many PCP calls there are?
I would be able to run maybe like a wild card with a PCP, and that way I would be able to pull up those medical calls dealing with the PCP, possible coronavirus patients, as well
Yeah.
as confirmed.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful to have in our
Okay.
data report, and just to, to be tracking to see, to be able to
Yes.
say this is how the ESD has been responding to COVID, right?
Okay, I sure will add this information for the next month's report.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions for item number 7?
Hey, Roger, I see Fabian's had 22.
Fabian's
No
22.
response? It wasn't due to it don't appears to be due to availabilities or
Right. Yeah, they again that's one of the departments they had members test positive, so
Okay.
they were lacking it. So yeah, we're trying to
no issues then.
yeah we're trying to do everything we can here at the district level to make sure that all our facilities have ways to sanitize the station, sanitize the equipment. Like I said, even today I placed an order for 10 cases of Lysol that will be distributed so that we can start spraying more of the vehicles, because one of the concerns that I have is we don't just want to go buy, everybody wants different types of chemicals, and my concern is we're buying chemicals that we've never even used. The last thing I want is that we're not going to die of corona, we're going to die of now cancer because we're spraying our vehicles with different chemicals that we don't know what they are. So
Right, got it.
in our stations, so we're trying to be consistent. We're trying to buy chemicals that we've used in our households forever. Not that that's any different, but all these different chemicals that everybody's trying to sell us and just go crazy with them. It's just
Fair
not
enough.
not the thing we want to do. We want to be
Well,
consistent.
Chief, that's a little bit morbid, but the CDC has really good guidelines on disinfectants. And so I would say, instead of saying we don't want to get cancer from chemicals we don't know of, say we're following CDC guidelines and using the ingredients and the chemicals that they have listed, which is the basic isopropyl, the Clorox, those kinds of things, right?
And that's why we're also trying to get chemicals that are readily available. As you saw, they just approved Pine Sol. That is a readily available cleaner now. So those are things we want to get, something we can use normally. But you should see the amount of emails that we get for different chemicals that, these were proven, but nobody's ever tried them. Nobody's ever knows what they are. We read the hazards and they're all different. So rather than to do that, we'll buy readily available chemicals.
And
Fair
also
enough.
just, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this, but it's really important to follow the disinfecting procedures. So a lot of times things need to be cleaned before they're sanitized, or they need to stay on surfaces for a certain amount of time before they're wiped off in order for them to be effective. So just, if you're buying Lysol, just make sure you're reading the instructions and you're giving that guidance to the stations so that they are aware of that.
Yes, ma'am. So item number 7 was informational purposes only. Item number 8, discuss and take action, all expenditures exceeding $2,000. We have Macios Technology for $3,340, Sims Martin for $3,491, and we have Best Buy for $4,099.94. Commissioners, these were talked to the commissioners, like as you approved on one of the meetings, to make sure that we could get the purchases done. Macios Technology, we will be discussing a server also that's going to be happening. We terminated the contract that we had for about $14,000 to $16,000 for backup server a year, and we transferred everything here to the district office. Since Martin, we ended up having to buy some equipment for one of the trucks that broke down. And Best Buy, we are upgrading 3 computers for Mariana, Araceli, and Angie, so they can be on instead of a home edition, they're going to be on a pro edition. Do I have a motion for number 8?
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Barnes, by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
and Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos,
Aye.
motion carries. Item number 9, discuss and take action on hiring an architect and engineer to review the new Clint Fire Station at Las Colonias in accordance with state law. Commissioners, after talking to Ken of these contracts that we issued, he pointed out that under state law, we're supposed to have the plans reviewed by an architect or an engineer just to make sure that everything's good for a facility. So he's recommending that we view this. I didn't want to go out and start calling everybody to see what they cost. I'm guessing for a review, we're going to spend a couple of $1,000s, maybe even less, just for them to look, because it's already coming from an engineered stamped set of plans, which I mentioned to him, but he says under state law, we're supposed to get our own. We can't trust the guy that designed it for us.
So we don't have any price estimates for what an engineer would cost for the review.
This was literally just happened when I got back from COVID. I had to put it on there. It's something that either you all can approve it and I can run it by Commissioner Santana for review. But I'm going to even run, I think if we spend $2,000, it'd be way too much. All they're going to make sure is that it's not going to fall apart.
Yeah. It has to be done, so I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz, second by Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
And Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10, discuss and take action on approving one more AC unit that was missed at the Clint's Fire Station under bid number 2010-01-6. Commissioners, I'd like to remove this item from the agenda. Right now, where I had Mario look at it, that building has 4 air conditioner units. It's a small building. The units that we are currently replacing are way more than enough than what we need. So I'd like to delete this item.
Motion to delete.
Second. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz, second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
and Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 11, discuss and take action on approving the purchase of tough books for the new fleet. Commissioners, you should have a quote from Baycom, which is the Panasonic dealer for our area, and it is under a state contract. We're purchasing tough books at a price of $3,095 per unit. Now I'm still looking at the docking station, everything else they're trying to sell us to see if we can find them cheaper, but I'd like to be able to order tough books as they're going to take a little bit long to get here as the fleet starts coming in. There's only one quote as we don't need to get, it's under state contract.
And this was in the budget, Chief?
Yes, it's a part of the loan that we received for all the fleet.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Butler, second by Commissioner Santana. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
and Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 12, discuss and take action approving the purchase of a server for the district office. We have 2 quotes, Commissioners. I want to talk to you about that. After talking to Ken and trying to figure out how to buy this server, because it gets complicated to buy a server from an IT company and for us to just go buy one to try to get 3 quotes. He reiterated that we as the district, you all created a policy that it says that anything over 2,000, we should go get 3 quotes. Under state law, it's only competitive bidding if it's over 50,000, right? So we've been doing this, which is great. I think we should continue to do it. But on this item, Commissioners, I had a tough time because it's not something that we can just go to somebody and say, this is what I'm looking for, because who's going to install it? So if you look at the quotes that are there, one of them is through Dell, and it's for $4,818.55, and that's just the server by itself, but then we still need the installation. So we've been using Makios technology to do our networking and everything else, and they came up with 8,926, which if you look at the price of their Dell computer, it's a little bit cheaper than the one that we got quoted from Dell themselves off the website. It is very difficult to just go out there, so I'm requesting that we approve the purchase of the server and the installation through Makios at 8,926. Now, this money is going to come from the money that we would normally spend to pay $14,000 to $16,000 to just have a cloud service for Mariana's backup. This server will be the one that's going to be handling the district business, and it is a commercial grade server. So for the price that we've been spending, my plan is that in the next couple of years, we will be upgrading the departments to put servers that we can all back up into. The district will be the headquarters for all the backups, but we will also have backups at the other stations. For the price that we were paying, it didn't make sense to only have 3 people using that versus now that we will all be able to use that.
So everybody's gonna be on it, Chief.
Yes. Right now, my target is to get Mariana and her staff first, because that's the priority for me, as that's the accounting department. So I want to make sure that that gets first, and then we will bring in the Makios technology to start merging all of us into the server.
What does that transition look like? Like, how disruptive will it be?
As soon as they get so the server will be about a week or 2 to get here, according to them. And then once they get it ready, set up, most of it is already here because we have a small fee rental from them. So all they're going to do is transfer everything that they put on the rental and put it on our server. So it's very minimal to none. So
Right, but I mean the integration from the cloud to the server.
Oh, it's already done. It's already done. It's already done. Now we just need to buy the hardware for it to belong to us.
Okay.
And this will take us off the cloud and put us onto hard servers.
We're already off the cloud because I didn't want to pay another $14,000 to that other company. So we that's what the original first 3,340 was, for them to come and back up everything, put it into a server that we got from them, and transfer everything, make sure it's there. We did have a couple of glitches, but it's now been addressed. Mariana, correct me if I'm wrong. We had 1 month that was corrupted, but she was going to enter that. And then now we will be on our own.
And this will give us.
What department was corrupted from the date of June? So I entered all that data from June up to today, which I did pretty much all that in 1 day. It took me about a day, but it's done.
But this will free up, like I said, we were paying, I think it was like 14,000 if we paid cash, 1 single payment, or 16,000 if we paid monthly. So this will alleviate us having to do that yearly. Will also allow us to upgrade our departments to have servers and to be more of a network as to what Makios is recommending. As a big department that we are, we have no networking with any of our other stations. So this will allow us to accomplish that for a lower price, of course.
Chief, more or less, what's the lifespan of a server?
5 years, 6 years, depending on how much we're using it. We, according to them, we have very, right now, minimal use. That's why they're recommending this server. But even at this server, later on, we can upgrade to just a data backup for this server. But that's why we're going to be looking as to networking 6 facilities to where we can back up to them and they can back up to us so that we don't lose anything.
Perfect.
They recommend off-site backing up. That's what they're recommending. So that's why my target is to, if we have money this year, upgrade another department and then have them talk to each other, back up, and that way we're all backed up.
And there's no proprietary, every year we have to pay. Is it, that's going to catch us next year? To get the password to the server, we have to.
No, that's one of the things that we had a little bit of a tough time with our previous vendor, because everything we had to do, we had to go through him. And at the end, he gave the codes to get into the computers. But it was something that even this vendor, he's already aware. He gives me all the passwords. We make sure that we have control of our equipment. That's not what we want. We don't
We
want
own the
them to have.
we own the equipment, right?
We own the equipment. We have control over the equipment. If I choose tomorrow to cut ties with that guy, I can go somewhere else.
And we have a 3-year service plan on it, I see.
Yes,
Okay.
he recommended that.
So do we need to make a motion,
You
Chief?
can make a motion or
Yes.
make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Barnes, a second by Commissioner Santana. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
and Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 13, discuss and take action allowing 5 members of the Socorro Fire Department to attend advanced technical training in Pflugerville, Texas. Will be offset by the grant provided by the Texas Forest Service Commissioners. This was already done. I did talk to Commissioner Santana. This was approved by a grant from the Texas Forest Service, and they didn't think they were going to get the grant, and they ended up getting another grant. So they needed immediate approval to go to Pflugerville to this training, and they're going to get about $1,935 from Texas Forest Service, or our cost would have been $1,065. Commissioner Santana said to proceed with it, and we would ratify it at the next meeting.
Perfect.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
and Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14, discuss and take action approving a purchase of Class A foam. Commissioners, as we proceed with the purchasing, Eduardo has been keeping up with the foam levels that we have here. He's requesting that we buy more foams. We have Dayco coming at $4,160, Darley at $10,848, and MES at $4,415 with 36 cents. We're going to go with Dayco for foam. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Santana and a second
Diaz.
by Commissioner Diaz.
Hey, Chief, why is it such a big discrepancy in price?
Because other vendors are trying to sell us their brands of what they think is better, and we keep asking for the same particular brands. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt for them to try.
Sure.
Commissioner
Chief,
Diaz?
didn't we recently buy a lot of foam?
Yes, but it's being distributed to all fire stations. A lot of fire stations were not keeping up. So now Eduardo has, now that we are handling all the purchases, so now Eduardo goes to the stations on the 1st and the 15th of every month, and he's making sure that every station is stocked up. So now, when he visited a station, they had absolutely no foam because nobody has said anything. So he's dropping off, let's say, 20 buckets of foam per station. And now every time he goes on the 1st and the 15th, he's going to make sure that they're always stocked up. That's why we depleted our stock. So we should never have to purchase lots of foam now if he's continuing to maintain the stock at levels at all time. Remember, we had departments that were keeping up and we had departments that were not keeping up with any of the levels.
Right, I just assumed that the inventory was taken before the order was placed the last time.
It was, but then they ran out because they had some fires and nobody ever said anything. So when he went out there, I taxed him with looking at it, and we went out there and it was just horrible. So
So
look,
Eddie's,
we don't want to have more than 2 pallets here in stock because we are having it outside and it freezes. So we're trying just to maintain the levels that we can house underneath our canopy that we have.
so Eddie's taking inventory and keeping up with all the fire departments, making sure that they're stocked. If they're low on their stock, he's restocking them and then right off of the truck.
Right. So now the guidance for him was given that we should have two pellets of foam in stock. in addition to what every department's fully stocked. So let's say that during this month, he depletes one pallet, then we will put an agenda item to purchase one pallet just to restock. So this could be happening monthly, or, as the time progresses, there could be fires that we deplete 2 pallets in one fire. You know what I mean? So it could happen to where we need more. All right. Do I have a motion?
We
Motion.
already did.
Oh, already did the motion. Santana and Diaz was the second. Commissioner Diaz.
Aye.
Commissioner Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 15, discuss and take action approving the purchase of Foscheck foam we have 3 quotes, one from Darley, one from Heyman, and one from MES. Commissioners, this is a type B foam. None of the departments were ever keeping up with the Class B foam. West Valley requested Foscheck, which is now guaranteed to not have carcinogens. So recently, West Valley switched all their foam that was over 10 years old because it's met the expectancy. This is not a foam we often use. This is for hydrocarbons, mostly we have to have it as a backup. So it's something that we will buy probably once and not deplete it for the life expectancy of the foam before it turns to gel. So we're going to upgrade everybody to Foscheck to make sure that we are all carrying the same brand of foam. Again, none of the departments in the valley had any of the Class B foam. They had never requested it. But if we're buying it for one, we're going to buy it for everybody. And the cheapest is Darley.
Are they all trained in this, Chief, using the different kinds of foam?
Well, as a firefighter one, they're all trained in the different types of foams. But again, this is not something they normally stocked, and all the new trucks are being purchased with the Class A and Class B tanks, as you know. But all the trucks in the valley are empty on the Class B because they don't have anything for hydrocarbons.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, is there any concerns with this, or is there training?
No, well, it's a very specific foam, and I mean, of course, it's for hydrocarbons. It works. I mean, just considering the cost, if we could, I mean, can you give them a class like in Target Solutions or something, just to remind them what kind of equipment they're going to be offered or they're going to be carrying on their units?
Like I said, West Valley just replaced a pallet of all the foam that for the last 10 years was not used because we still have to carry it. So this is probably a one-time purchase for the next 10 years, and just have it because, we do have that big fuel tank farm over there in Montana Vista. So if that ever goes up, all that foam will be at that location.
Yes, sir. Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Santana, second by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz?
Aye.
Commissioner Butler?
Aye.
Commissioner Santana?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes?
Aye.
And Commissioner Avalos?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 16, discuss and take action amending the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget for expenses item on special projects. Commissioners, I'm going to let Mariana speak on this one. She requested last time that we need to amend the monies that we had originally for all this construction and
Hi, Commissioners. I put an item just a little for what we're going to be doing. So we're amending for the overages on the special projects, which was the $27,565 for the AC replacement and the $800 for the roof on station number 3 for Clint. And the breakdown is below. We're going to be transferring the $10,200 from the Clint new station Las Colonias, $2,165 from Clint station number 1 for the windows, and $16,000 from the SFD installation, which is a total of $28,365. Is there any questions?
What was the final number? 28,000?
365.
Got it. Thank you, Mija.
You're welcome. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Diaz?
Okay.
I have a motion by Commissioner
Commissioners.
Santana, second by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 17, discuss and take action auditor's contract by SBNG. Commissioners, you should have a contract there for SBNG. It's a formality for us to get it approved by you all. Any questions, Commissioners?
It's listed as item 18 in the Dropbox.
Sorry, it is 17. It's kind of turned the page. That's probably where she got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
think
it's
there
item
was a-
18 in Dropbox.
I think there was an updated one, y'all. On my paperwork, I got it at 17.
Let me look at one more.
Same here.
Yeah,
It's item 17 on the agenda, but on the Dropbox, it was under number 18. So I think it's just the Dropbox that's incorrect.
Right.
the total for SBNG is for between 23,800 to 24,800 for this year's audit.
23 to 24.
You're happy with them?
Yes,
What's that?
I am. We budgeted 30,000 in the accounting fees, so we're good. I'm very happy with them. Just to give you a little bit of an update of all the changes that are happening with the QuickBooks and the loans and all of our special projects. Yadira came last week on Thursday. She was here pretty much all day helping me and working together to update all the accounting. We're quite not done. She's going to be back in November once this quarter's finished because they are extremely busy. Once she comes back, then we can definitely close the year and then begin the audit process. I'm also leaving the end of October to get any pending open invoices, any statements we might receive, contact the vendor so we can pay out everything up to the month of September. But I'm very happy with them. So we're good to go once we close the year. Once she comes back, then we'll be ready for the audit.
Okay. I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Butler, second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
and Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 18, discuss and take action on presentation from Chase Bank. Commissioners, apparently there is some talk between Chase Bank and our legal because they requested to be on their executive session and they don't meet the requirements of executive session. So they didn't want to present to us because of that. So our legal is talking to see what their reasoning was for wanting to be under executive session because they don't meet the requirements of executive session. So they were
didn't
having to
wanna-
run that. I'm sorry,
Hey, Rod, they didn't want to provide a presentation in open session?
they did not.
What is it in relation to?
They so now that we merged all the accounts into one, our ability to get better promotions from them in regards to the way we use our credit cards and better services that we were never offered because we were all separate is now available to us. So they wanted to present that to us, and I didn't see a problem with that. However, they wanted to do an executive session, and they didn't meet the requirements of executive session.
Chief, would it be wise? I mean, I'm just asking, maybe this is a dumb question, but would it be wise to probably go with another bank as well and get them to see what they have to offer besides just having Chase? There's Wells Fargo. I mean, there's Bank of America. There's other banks out there,
We can definitely look at all different banks. If I remember correctly, I think we're going on Chase Bank with about 6 years, Marty, correct me if I'm wrong. 5 or 6 years now?
Yeah, it's been about 6 years now.
So on the last board before you all, before all of you all took over, it was decided that on the 6th, 5th, at the end of the 5th or 6th year, we'd venture into looking at all the banks to see who gave us a better deal. The reason for this right now is we just transferred over. I wanted to let everything settle down and then look at something else to see what it was also available. But we can definitely look at other banks to see. And that's one of the suggestions that we had, that every so many years we switch banks just to see how it, what's better out there for us now. And I guarantee you that now that we're all merged into one, we would probably get better offers than what we did 5-6 years ago when we started all this.
I think the transparency thing is also important, which I know everyone else does too. So, not wanting to have a presentation.
I'm not sure that they didn't want to talk in public just because they might want to talk about our accounting. So that's why they were going to have their legal, talk to our legal, see what the reasoning was.
Okay.
So, but it could have been because they wanted to talk about our accounting. And I don't know that Chase Bank would want to put that out in the open, which is open to the public anyways, but
right.
on their behalf, they wouldn't want to do that.
So we move to delete.
Yes, move to delete, please.
I make a motion.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
That was Commissioner Diaz.
Yes.
Mario, I took my Open Meetings Act class today, so that's how I know so much.
Thank you. I appreciate
I was
You paid attention.
motion by Commissioner Butler, second by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz.
Aye.
Commissioner Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
And Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 19, discuss and approve the next meeting to take place on
I think it's November 17, I think.
Yes, November 17th. Commissioners, anybody, I was going to say anybody going to travel out of town, but I guess not because we're kind of not going to be traveling. So, everybody good with the 17th?
I'm good.
Yes.
So it'll be November 17th at 6 p.m. via web. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. I'm gonna get on record yet.
I have a motion by Commissioner Santana, second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz.
Aye.
Commissioner Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos. I mean, Commissioner
Aye.
Barnes, sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm sorry, I'm just Commissioner Barnes
Aye.
and Commissioner Avalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. Adjournment at 6:50 p.m.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Commissioner,
guys.
Bye.
Commissioner Butler, I'll call you tomorrow to get a little bit more feedback on that testing center.
Testing. Yeah.
All right.
Good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Night.